Frazier hits one deep toward right. If it's fair, it's gone in the corner. That is a home run for Adam Frazier. And the Kansas City Royals strike in the ninth inning. They take a 2-1 lead on Frazier's first homer in Royal Blue.
No matter the time zone, no matter if it's on Apple TV Plus, Bally's, MLB TV, it doesn't matter. The Kansas City Royals are victorious this evening over the Los Angeles Angels, 2-1, thanks to some late inning heroics from the person you expect that from, right? Adam Frazier getting his first home run in a Kansas City Royals uniform, putting the boys in blue on top 2-1, and then John Schreiber coming in the bottom of the ninth to finish things off. Welcome to the Royals Recap. My name is Jacob Milham. I am one half of the Royals Rundown podcast. Listen, it's a little bit of a sleepy affair. It is 12:21 Eastern Standard Time. I'm tired. This West Coast road trip is absolutely going to kick my ass. But if you want on-point Kansas City Royals analysis in a written form, you can go check that out on RoyalsReview.com. News, commentary, join the comment community as well to interact with other Royals fans over there at RoyalsReview.com. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. Listen, this was a low, like I said, this was a low scoring affair. 2-1, 3 total runs, nothing to write home about. But the Royals, man, they were getting absolutely handled by Angel starter Canning tonight. He was on top of it, and coming into tonight, there was nothing that had me worried about Griffin Canning heading into tonight's game. Even after his performance, a 3-hit shutout, his ERA still sits at 5.75 on the season. It was just a great game from him, and I don't like laying results or a game's direction at the feet of who is calling balls and strikes, but I do feel like tomorrow, once we see that umpire scorecard, it will show that there was a good amount of favor towards the Los Angeles Angels. It was an erratic strike zone on both sides, but it does seem like more of the impactful calls went against the Royals tonight rather than the opposite. So it happens, and truth be told, the difference in this game for the longest time was a Joe Adell home run in the 5th inning off of Alec Marsh, his 6th on the season, and that was the only blemish on Marsh's performance tonight. 5 1/3 innings in his first start since coming off the IL, 4 hits, that 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. Just a great performance from him, just really setting himself up even more as like, hey, we saw Daniel Lynch back in Kansas City. He's gone. He's back to Omaha. He's going to start for them again. Alec Marsh is the guy that you want in the bottom of this rotation, and I'm very happy to see him succeeding. The bullpen came in behind him and did what they needed to do to get things done tonight. Chris Stratton, Will Smith, Tyler Duffy, and John Schreiber, who, like I said, picked up the save tonight. All of them combined to, they only gave up 1 hit, no earned runs with 2 strikeouts to close out the game after Marsh exited. Excuse me. And I will say, I said that 1 home run was Marsh's only blemish. He did have 2 throwing errors that kept things going for the Angels at times. And it was, we saw Daniel Lynch turn that double play on Thursday night, and truth be told, not every pitcher is going to make a play like that. John Schreiber did make a impressive play to throw out Joe Adell in the bottom of the 9th, but that's just there's a reason why people say pitchers ain't athletes. even if folks or if we see the opposite. If you can't tell, I'm tired, folks. This is gonna be a long road trip. This sounds silly. I'm pretty disappointed in the Royals lineup. All right, 2 guys accounted for 5 of the team's total 7 hits. All right. That is, and MJ Melendez, gotta give the guy props. 4 ABs, 3 hits. All right, this was he's still in a rough stretch. He really is. He was, I think the broadcast said he was on an 0 for 35 hitting streak on the road, and he finally broke out of that. He's still got a long ways to go, but he looked really good at the plate tonight. He had that triple, his second on the year. He had a couple of singles. He kept things going, and I mean, he was the tying run that was, or excuse me, he represented the tying run that was on the base pass. I believe Garrett Hampson came in and pinch run for him. And that was one of the 2 runs that scored when Adam Frazier put one over the right field fence. That short fence, it gives and it takes away, and it has been to the benefit of the Royals for 2 nights in a row. The top of the lineup did not do a whole lot for the Kansas City Royals. Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, and Michael Massey. All of them combined for 1 hit and 1 walk. Michael Garcia had 2 frustrating strikeouts. I get it. The strike zone was not at all very consistent tonight, but he just looked frozen up there a couple of times, and hopefully he has a bounce back game on Saturday against the Angels. Both these teams, their lineups really struggled. I mean, you look at it and they combined to go 0 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Like that's just not going to get it done. That is not the formula for an offensive outbreak. And fortunately, the Royals, they scored runs when they needed to, and John Schreiber stood tall to hold the Los Angeles Angels to 1 run tonight. And this is yet another example of the offseason acquisitions just stepping up when they needed to. If you look at it, Chris Stratton, Will Smith, Tyler Duffy, John Schreiber, none of these guys were on the roster this time last year. And this is why this Royals team is different. All right, they had another come from behind win. The pitching kept the game within striking distance, even if the lineup was not holding up their end of the bargain. I'm not saying that this was a good night, but you are going to have low scoring affairs no matter what. And at the end of the day, the Royals are looking pretty good. 24-16, still currently sitting 3rd in the AL Central. Just goes to show how strong this division is right now. And they are 8 games over 500. Can you remember what you were doing the last time the Royals were 8 games over 500? All right, that was June 1st of 2016. It's been a while since the Royals have had a record this strong right now. They're still one of MLB's best teams in run differential. I'm just liking that they are looking this good on the road. All right, this is their 3rd win in a row. They at least clinch a series split with the Angels. They're up 2-0 right now on the Halos. So let's go out there on Saturday and see what Cole Reagans can do against this kind of pitiful lineup, to say the least, facing off against Tyler Anderson. I am going to go ahead and get on out of here after the Spotify Q&As, because like you all know, The game was not on Bally Sports tonight, so there won't be any post-game interviews. Unfortunately, Joel, we will hear from you on Saturday, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get on over to those Spotify Q&As. If y'all are unaware or listening to us for the first time, I apologize for my energy level. But also, if you go over to Spotify, you have access to Q&As and polls, and I read your responses on air. So, after last night's game, I asked y'all, what did you think about this game? Christopher says, pulled out his 9-iron, Rex Hudler. Yeah, that was a great shot there. M. Tilly says, great game, but these West Coast start times are brutal. I'm too old for this. I'm 25. Listen, man, I am 27, and I don't know how just a few short years ago I would have still been going strong at this time. That bet has been calling to me for quite a while. Ginger620 says, I went to bed before it got good, but it sounds like it was great. I'll just say that I think Velasquez should be demoted, but I don't feel that Blanco is the replacement we need. And I will say this, Nelson Velasquez was out of the lineup tonight, but he did have a pinch hit, and he, let's see here. Yeah, he drew a walk, had a ground rule double, if I recall correctly. His 7th on the year. So he had a good night at the plate tonight. He rebounded, and hopefully this is the start of a turnaround for him. But like I talked about Kings of Kaufman today, it's just not looking too good for Nelson Velasquez. Hakaya says, I was fine with leaving Walk out there in the 7th. It was a big lead, so you might as well see how much of the bullpen you can save. And then Luke57 says, pretty wild game for the lack of production from the 5 through 7 hitters. Fun to see more guys get involved. Blanco needs to play more if he's going to keep producing like this. And yeah, he got in the lineup today again. Unfortunately, he had that great Thursday night showing, and he followed it up with a 2 strikeout performance tonight against the Los Angeles Angels. So we'll see what Saturday holds for them. Like I said, Cole Reagans is going to get the start. It is another 8:38 Kauffman Standard Time start. Tyler Anderson will be starting for the Los Angeles Angels. You can watch that game on Bally Sports Kansas City MLB Network, or you can listen on 610 Sports Radio. Jake Eisenberg and Steve Stewart have the call over there. Once again, if you want to interact with other Royals fans during the game threads, or if you just want to stay up to date on all things Kansas City Royals, go check out RoyalsReview.com. My name is Jacob Milham. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's Royals recap. And until next time, go Royals!